Hi there, I'm Alistair Atkin from Atkin Guitars down in Canterbury in the UK. Today I've got my good friend Anna Massie, who's on tour around England at the moment.
Yes, indeed. Yeah.
Played in Margate last night.
Yes.
Good fun.
The height of the tour. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, well, have you been to Margate before?
I have been years ago. I had a flatmate at uni from Broadstairs, and we came down to visit and went and had a wee
Did you
look
play
around.
the folk festival in Broadstairs?
Yeah, I've been there once before. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was great.
yeah.
Folk Week, big thing.
There we go. So Anna's an amazing acoustic guitar player,
Thank you.
but also a great fiddle player, mandolin. What else do you play?
I play a bit of banjo and tenor guitar and kind of
Everything.
frets.
Anything with
really.
strings and...
Yeah, it's like the left hand of the fiddle and the right hand of the guitar.
Yeah.
Anything that kind of falls in that.
Fantastic. Amazing. How long have you been playing? Since you're wee nipper?
Yeah, I started, my dad plays guitar and mandolin and stuff. He was a folkie, so I started guitar when I was 7
Right.
and fiddle when I was 8. So yeah, it's been a long time, 20 years or something.
When did you turn pro then?
Well, I guess I've always done it. I started playing in ceilidh bands and stuff with my dad on the fiddle when I was 13.
Yeah.
And then I moved to Glasgow to study music.
Yeah.
And when I was in first year at uni in 2002, 2003, I won the BBC Radio Scotland Young Trad Musician thing. And that kind of was a launch pad. The idea was to become a professional musician, but that kind of just made loads of gigs happen for me immediately. So I guess while I was a student, I was starting touring and recording and stuff. So yeah, it's over 20 years that I've been kind of doing this as my job.
Yeah. I mean, it's an amazing scene up there as well, isn't it?
It's a really strong scene, yeah. It's
full of brilliant players.
Yeah, and it's a pretty vibrant young scene, particularly in Glasgow. There's a couple of music degrees. There's a trad music degree at the Royal Conservatoire of Scotland in Glasgow, and so it seems to be the city where loads of young folkies move to. So it's like there's a buzzing session scene, and loads of bands are based there. There's a lot of recording studios. People are really kind of rooted there at the moment.
So if you were to choose Edinburgh or Glasgow, are you Glasgow all the way? I mean, there must be rivalry, isn't there?
I guess there is. The funny thing is, there's not rivalry really between the folk scenes in terms of a lot of people in the Glasgow folk scene have come from elsewhere. I love Edinburgh, but I have been living in Glasgow for 23 years now, so I kind of have a bit of an affinity with the city. But yeah, Edinburgh's great. The scenes are very different. The Glasgow scene does feel like a really young, sort of vibrant scene, just because that's where the students tend to move to. But Edinburgh definitely has that as well. But yeah, they're quite different. They're only an hour apart, and they're such different feels.
I mean, I don't think we really get that so much in this country. I know that probably the north of England and maybe sort of down in the West Country, but around here we don't seem to get that whole vibe so much. Although Tim Eady is from just down the road.
Broadstairs, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean Tim's one of those people that you kind of, it's as good as you can get as well, isn't he?
He's just amazing. Yeah, he'll play the guitar and then he'll just put that down middle of a set.
Yeah.
Put the guitar down and pick up an accordion.
Yeah.
Like, what? Those are so completely different skills. But he's an inspiring guy.
He's awesome. Yeah, if you've never heard of Tim Eady, you should check him out. He's well worth a watch. Anyway, what we thought we'd do today, because Tom, our usual chap who does this 12 guitars thing, is not here today. So I thought it'd be great if we got Anna, because she's just give us a different perspective. She'll tell us if she doesn't like something, I'm pretty sure. But do you like sherbet lemons?
I love sherbet lemons.
Do you want a sherbet lemon?
I love a sherbet lemon.
Problem with eating sherbet lemons and being interviewed at the same time, they'll probably rattle around your mouth. But
get the gurning on.
It's become a thing, the sherbet lemon. So Tom's mum brings them in and we
I haven't had one of these in ages.
Really? Yeah, it might start
This is
an
going to
addiction.
start something. You're seeing
Not the
it
worst
right
addiction you could have, I don't think. Yeah.
Maybe these are the gateway, sweetie. Who knows?
Yeah. Dentist would have a different opinion, probably. Right. So this week we've got 12 guitars that have come off the press this week, and we've got quite a nice array of things. So I think we're going to start up here with this Essential 00 14 fretter. This is the smallest 14 fretter we do, and sorry, the sweet is rather getting the better of me. There's a bin over there if we need to spit them out. Yeah.
Persevere in there.
Yeah, this one has a baked Sitka spruce top, mahogany back and sides, mahogany neck, Indian rosewood head veneer, ebony fretboard, ebony bridge, one of our in-house tortoiseshell pick guards, beautifully beveled and polished with our aged nitrocellulose finish. But yeah, these guitars, they're small, but they don't sound small. And I think they could be a main guitar for some people. Do you like small guitars?
I love small guitars.
Yeah? Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't have terribly long arms. I find that the larger body ones, I feel a wee bit like I can't control them.
Right.
Yeah, I have a Gibson, I have a J43 at home, and it's beautiful for recording, but I can't gig it because I don't feel like I'm in.
Do you get the shoulder problems with it or anything, or are you sort of?
No, I think it's more that. I think, to be honest, I never play it for long enough to feel uncomfortable in that way with it because I use it for recording, but yeah, I can't grip it properly.
Well, have a go on that then.
This is going to be the right kind of size.
See what you think.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of compact.
Really comfy.
Yeah.
It's still quite a wide fingerboard, considering the size of the body.
Yeah, it's not. It's most of our guitars have a similar sort of shape. We do two widths. We do a 43mm and a 45mm. This is actually the thinner one of the two.
All right.
So there'll be a 45mm here somewhere.
It does still have a lot to it, doesn't it?
It does, doesn't it? Good little songwriting guitar as well, though. You write a bit, don't you?
I write a wee bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Comfy.
Let's try its slightly bigger brother.
Okay.
Which is this. So this is now a 00. Again, slightly wider, slightly longer. Same neck. They've both got a 24.9-inch scale length. It's pretty much the same neck on there, but yeah, the depth of the body's the same. But yeah, see how you get on with that. Again, that's an essential model with the mahogany and the Sitka spruce.
So what should we be expecting?
A little bit bigger,
Yeah,
I guess.
Yeah, it does have that fuller sound, yeah.
For my money, I think this is one of the a slightly bigger guitar, but it still feels compact.
Yeah.
I think it's a really good a good choice for somebody who wants one guitar. That one would do it.
Yeah.
I think we actually got a triple O here as well. So that's the next one up.
What was this?
So that's O,
O,
double O, triple O.
triple O.
So probably a good idea to try that one next.
Yeah.
See what they're gradually getting bigger.
And this is the same neck?
Same, yes, same neck. That might be a wider nut on that, actually. Might be the 45mm.
So balanced.
Have you got a preference for any of those? If you had to take one out on the road?
Oh, I think between this one and the
second one.
The second one, I think, yeah.
This would be the more popular one for everyone, I'd say.
Okay.
The triple O it's like an OM. They're a really popular guitar. But I think for me, probably one of these two would be. I've had lots of these, but I've never owned one of these myself. So
right, why not?
Just never got round to it.
Right.
And then I had children and I stopped playing guitar. So. But yeah, again, same spec. All three of those guitars are from the same line. With a tortoiseshell binding as well.
Oh.
So it's pretty cool. I think we're going to move. Oh, this is actually a good transition into. So this is an OM, but this one.
Ooh.
It's saucy, isn't it? It's got the big sound hole, like white rice models. So it's an OM version with the bound fingerboard. This is a 37 version with Indian rosewood back and sides, Sitka spruce top, painted black, ebony fingerboard and bridge, and a Indian rosewood head veneer. But are you a Tony Rice fan? Did you ever get into Tony Rice, the bluegrass guy?
I was never a big bluegrass listener. Hard with the sherbet looking.
Okay, but you can have two if you want. Yeah.
I've always enjoyed it, but I've never been a big fan of it.
No,
it just wasn't what I sort of grew up with.
Right, but the crossover's quite close, isn't it?
Yeah, those roots are very much the same.
Is it the Celtic connections as well? A lot of the bluegrassers come over and play.
Yeah.
We must have played with some of them in the sessions, I guess. What happens is that a lot of you go down to the bars and is it the Holiday Inn Hotel? Everyone.
It's the Maldron now.
Okay.
Late night tunes, and that's the cool thing about it is that artists from everywhere are around the place, and then a wee session will kind of start up, and it's almost always the bluegrass guys. They just love playing.
Yeah.
They just will noodle away all night. Yeah.
And do you end up sparking up and just thinking, oh, we'd work together in the future? Has that sort of thing happened?
Yeah, that
with you?
definitely happens. Yeah, I think it's a nice thing. It's the nice thing about Celtic Connections is a festival in Glasgow in the middle of winter.
Yeah.
It just feels like a sort of beacon of light in the dark months, and there's that lovely thing of you spend a lot of the summer going around festivals, meeting up with people. Oh, I haven't seen you since whatever, but it's a really nice thing that happens at Celtic Connections with that, and you often end up on a gig. They're really good at programming shows where the first half and the second half aren't necessarily from the same circle. So sometimes you'll end up meeting people that you probably otherwise wouldn't have met.
No,
and end up sort of listening to their music. I love that.
That is, I mean, they show it on the BBC over here, don't they? Or do they still do that? I think they do.
Yeah, and they film they'll film some of the concerts, and then BBC Alba make a series called Sherem, which is like they'll take over a local pub and get some of the acts in.
And those are fantastic, aren't they?
Absolutely great.
Yeah. So if you get on the iPlayer, probably a lot of it ends up on YouTube as well. But if you're in Glasgow, is it late January, early February? It's 3 weeks long.
3 weekends, it tends to be
3 weeks. That's
it's a lot.
Surviving 3 weeks of that must be.
That's a lot. Yeah. That's a lot. But it's good. It's a great thing, and it's right on the doorstep.
Yeah,
so
fantastic. Crikey.
Yeah.
Hey, have a bang on that one.
All right.
See what you think. Here, your collection.
I have a spare in my pocket.
Oh, look at that! It comes
Thank
from a
you.
professional musician. Of
Actually,
course.
this was Tim Eady told me about these plectrums.
Oh, did he really?
The Dunlop Max Grip. So they've got a kind of it's like a wee serrated thing that make them ironically harder to drop.
Yeah.
Now, was the thing with Tony Rice not that he just gouged out the sound hole of his own guitar?
It wasn't his guitar. It belonged to Clarence White from the Byrds. And when he was a youngster, he was after a Martin D28, but he couldn't find one and didn't have the right amount of money to buy, he wanted an old wartime one. And he found this bag full of, some guitar maker I think had it, or repairer. He goes, well, we've got this. And it was sort of lots of different bits of different guitars, but the body was a D28 from the 30s or 40s, I think. Mm-hmm. And I think it had already been sort of bashed so much that they just took it back to that bit of the... so it kind of... And I don't think it had been done before, and it does change the sound of the instrument. So it's kind of a cool thing. So loads of guitar makers now do a version of it.
Yeah.
And then it gets to the point, why don't we do that all the time? Because it does change the sound, but works really well for certain types of music, I think. It's yeah. So
Punchy.
your guitar is the same woods as that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So Anna's got one of our small jumbos from we worked out about 17, 18 years ago, probably. And it's
I'm thinking I'm getting to this kind of state of the sound hole.
Oh, maybe we should have a look at that on the video. Yeah, and, you've got it here, haven't you? But yeah, so that's the same spec or the same wood combination.
Oh.
So yeah, that's sort of. Do you like a black top on a guitar? Is that your sort of thing?
I've never had one.
No.
I don't think it's something that I would sort of be drawn to. And I don't know why.
No, I mean, some people love it. I mean, I think we all want to be Johnny Cash a little bit. So it's kind of, it's got that side of it. That
makes it cool.
It does kind of make it cool.
It does look cool.
Yeah.
I think I'm maybe just aware that I'm not cool enough to carry off a black
I'm sure you
guitar.
could. I'm sure you
No.
Perhaps you're too cool. You don't need it.
I think if people saw me with it, they'd be like, whose is that? Whose guitar are you playing? That can't be yours.
Well, Boo's got a black top guitar.
He does, yeah.
How cool's Boo? Is he?
He's really cool.
Yeah. Boo Hewardine, that is. Tell us how cool you think Boo Hewardine is. See whether we can get the people's views on it. But
he plays a really small body, doesn't he?
He's got a double A, which is the smaller version of your small jumbo. Okay. So yeah, it's a bit more of this sort of size. But he's also got his black guitar is an OM like this.
Okay.
And he's got the first OM we made him, which is a natural top version. So he's had 2 or 3 of these over the years.
What I always really enjoy about my guitar, and the thing I get loads of comments about from people, is the balance of the sound.
Yeah.
And how clean it is, and how you can hear the bottom end of it, but the top really sings out. So there seems to be the sort of the common theme with all of these, is that they're really lovely and balanced.
Oh, that's great to hear. Well, I mean, that's what we try to do. It's one of those things you shoot for.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it tends to be the case. How often do you practice a lot?
No.
Do you not?
No.
Is this just all in your head?
No, I think the thing is with it, the difference between playing and practicing. And for a long time, I thought, well, I'm playing all the time, so that's the same thing.
Yeah.
And it's not.
Right.
You know, it's sitting, drilling things and going over stuff. And even then, rehearsing isn't the same as practicing.
No.
Those kind of rudiments and skills. And the thing that's interesting about doing a solo tour at the moment is this is the first time I've done it. It's the first time I've been out on the road by myself. There's just me in the car. And I keep turning up to places and going, oh, there's no one here to talk to.
Yeah.
But I find myself sitting and playing and actually practicing.
Right.
And trying to just go over wee bits of things. And I think it is that time thing. The weird thing about when music is your job, that you end up without not always having loads of time to play and practice, because so many other things end up filling your day. Admin, driving, all of these things that you don't realise are going to be part of the job. And so to find myself with loads of time when I get to a venue,
now you can
to
start.
sit and play.
Yeah.
It's really lovely. I've been really enjoying it, and I've been kind of sharing wee practice videos, warm-up videos every day. And to be honest, that's not something that I would normally do. It's normally we do a sound check, have dinner, and then the gig is on.
Yeah.
But to actually sit
and have
in a dressing room and play, I'm loving it.
Yeah. Are you writing?
Yeah.
In that situation?
A little bit, yeah. The ideas kind of percolate and just things will sort of come out eventually. But yeah, it's lovely just having the time to, I guess, to be creative. If something's going to come, it's really nice that there's not a pressure with that. Yeah.
Do you work out a set list before you go on stage, or you strike me as the sort of person who's probably got 1,000 tunes in their head and can pull those up at sort of any point? Or...
I think the thing with it is I do have a set list, but I think that's out of habit.
Yeah.
Of having to, like, having a band or a duo or a trio, everyone knowing what you're going on to next.
Yeah.
But yeah, the nice thing is the freedom of going, oh, actually, I don't have the time for that, or
I think this might not fit at this point. I might have to throw that in. Do you get that?
So there's something quite nice about the flexibility that a solo gig affords you.
Yeah.
That it doesn't need to be a discussion. It doesn't need to be make sure everybody knows. It's just, well, the decision is I'm going to.
Feels good now to do this.
Yeah.
I saw Bruce Hornsby last year in London, and it appeared he didn't have a set list at all.
Yeah.
And people were just putting bits of paper on the stage, and he's just picking up. Oh yeah, I'll do that one. And it just it was amazing, you know.
That's great.
But he's got it all at his fingertips, ready to go. Brilliant.
I saw Sean Colvin.
Oh yeah.
I did. I love her. She's she's an absolute hero of mine, and it had been years of loving her music before I got to see her live.
Yeah.
And she played at Celtic Connections actually a few years ago, and it was the 20th anniversary of A Few Small Repairs.
Yeah.
Or maybe the 25th, I can't remember, but it was a great gig, and with her full band. And then 2 years ago, she did a solo show in Union Chapel.
Oh, yeah.
Just her.
Did you went along?
I did, yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
I had finished some gigs. I had a couple of days off, and I was down in England anyway. So I came into London. I'd never been to Union Chapel.
Right, that's insanely
Oh
good, isn't
man,
it?
it was such a great place, and it was an amazing, beautiful day. I just wandered around the city. I had such a nice day, and then I went to watch her play, and that same thing. She was just chatting to the audience, and yes, she had a few songs that she was definitely going to do, and then she said, "Right, what do you want to hear?"
Yeah. Oh.
And I was sitting I was sitting miles away at the back, and just going, "Can you please do Kill the Messenger?"
Yeah.
It was so
It's beautiful.
so organic.
Yeah.
It's really lovely when there can be that interaction.
You feel like you're completely being taken care of, don't you?
Yeah.
And it's like got that thing. I'm actually in the presence of a real pro here.
Yeah.
This is insane.
Yeah. There's something great about that. I saw an Irish singer called Maura O'Connell. And again, I'd been a big fan for years.
Maura, did she do something with Paul Brady?
Yeah.
Stories.
Yes.
Yeah, she's
That
amazing,
record,
isn't she? Yeah.
That's my favourite.
Oh, it's brilliant.
I love that. And she did the Transatlantic Sessions.
Yeah.
I think.
Avalanche, something down the avalanche.
Shotgun Down the Avalanche.
Oh,
written by Sean Colvin.
Was that a Sean Colvin
it's a
song?
Sean
There you
Colvin
go.
song
Right,
that Maura O'Connell has sung.
Ah.
So I'd been a fan of hers for years, and she's Irish, but she lives out in the States, and so she was hardly ever over in the UK, and she was playing Celtic Connections. And I couldn't believe it. It's that way of, I was there at the moment tickets went on sale. I need to get a ticket. You always think that your favourite is going to sell out so quickly, you know?
Yeah.
And it wasn't a particularly big venue. And I had played that room lots of times myself. I was sitting in the audience, and her bassist and guitarist, she just had two guys in the band. They came out and they started the riff, and I was sitting there going, they're starting with my favourite. They're starting with Blue Train, my all-time favourite that I had seen her, the song that I had discovered her singing on Transatlantic Sessions. And she came out after they'd started the intro. She just walked to the mic and she grabbed it and started singing. And it was that sense of, right, you come here with me, this is going to be great. I've got you. You've not got to worry. And it felt amazing. But I was sitting there going, wait, what dressing room has she come out of? Because she can't have come out of the dingy wee corridor that I know is back there. There must have a different room back there for like big stars like this. But yeah, that sense of I'm absolutely going to be, this is going to be great.
The first time I ever experienced that was seeing Paul Brady at the Flower in Finsbury Park.
Right.
25, 30 years ago. And it was exactly that. It was like, he'd pick me up by the scruff of the neck, go, "You're coming with me, this is happening." And it was just insane. It's so, when you see someone so professional,
it's the best.
We've only done four guitars. That's Maura O'Connell. Does she play anything?
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think she does. I think she just stands at the front and commands your attention with her voice.
Yeah, super.
She sang with the Dannon.
Oh yeah, it's the Dannon. Yeah. Oh, that's where she started, is it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Right. This is an advanced 38. So it's a slope shoulder dreadnought. It's got a 25.4 inch scale length, Indian rosewood back and sides, baked Sitka top, but it's got all these sort of nice appointments. It's got Indian rosewood fingerboard and bridge. It's got the inlays, pearl inlay headstock with our logo in the pearl, mahogany neck, the Clousson tuners. It's got a slightly different shaped headstock, which we use from time to time on our jumbo models. And I think we're going to bring out a sort of vintage J43 and L36 with that headstock as well, for that sort of Dylan-esque sloped shoulder thing that he used back in the 60s and the late 50s. This is a bit of a... I first saw, I think, Steve Earle using one of these, sort of this size guitar. And I thought, that sounds good. So we ended up making some. And I'm pretty pleased with them, really. Do you like Sunbursts? Have you ever had you got Sunburst mandolin, I think?
I've got a Sunburst mandolin.
Is that a Moon?
Yeah, Jimmy Moon.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah.
I never had any of his guitars, but that was my 21st birthday present.
Was it? Oh,
my
lovely.
mandolin, and it's got a mad wee like sort of teardrop cutaway thing in it as well. Like,
yeah.
I've never gone up there. And that mandolin, it's like supersonic sounds up there, but yeah, it's got this sort of really ready kind of Sunburst to it.
No, I've seen pictures of that. It looks great. Have a go on that. So that's kind of a bold, quite big sounding guitar.
Yeah. It's really warm in the bottom, isn't it?
Yeah, it's got some real punch to it.
And this is the wider.
No,
No?
that's still the.
Oh, but it's the longer.
Yeah, longer scale length.
Scale.
Yeah, which is the same scale length as your guitar.
And how are you deciding which of these machine heads are going on?
Well, this is kind of classic for the era that we're going after. So, you could do either individuals or this, but this kind of works really well on here, I think. But,
yeah, it's proper old school.
Old school, yeah.
Isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah.
This feels, I think, playing a guitar this kind of shape, it just makes you feel like an American songwriter, doesn't it? There's something about the slope shoulders and just that look of it just feels so kind of.
It's a bit of pride in there, isn't there?
Yeah. You want to do the sort of those
exactly,
things. It just kind of feels made for that.
Yeah, I think it probably was, to be honest. Yeah. Do you cover other people's songs in your set at all? Who do you?
Yeah. There's a guy called JP Cormier.
Oh yeah, he's from Nova Scotia.
Yes. So he does a lot of kind of stuff on his YouTube channel. He does a lot of Luthier sending him instruments, and he'll just kind of shred away on them and stuff. But I do a couple of his. I think he's an amazing player, but he's also a really lovely writer.
Yeah.
I sing a couple of his songs, and there's a couple of Dougie MacLean songs, classic Scottish folk stuff, and just a real mix. I've also been doing a bit of Tiffany lately.
What? I think I'm alone now.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. End of
Go
the
on,
night.
give us a bit of Tiffany.
No, I couldn't. I couldn't. I need a capo album.
Okay.
I love it. There's something about that. That came out of. I came back down from home during lockdown. I had retreated up to the north, and I came back to Glasgow thinking, well, that's it. COVID seems to be a little bit relaxed now. And the day I came back down to Glasgow, I went and had a haircut, had a pint, met a friend for dinner, and then the next day I got the track and trace phone call. You've been exposed to someone in So I had like 2 weeks in the house and I couldn't leave the flat, and so I did this a series. Every day I would sing a song, learn a song, and work up an arrangement of a song about like isolation or loneliness or being alone. And I said, any suggestions? And the fantastic singer Hannah Rarity said, what about I think we're alone now? I was like, right. So that took the day, and then I thought, actually, I love the guitar part.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of a little blessing in disguise, maybe.
Yeah. So it's kind of that kind of feel. Kind of a different feel to it.
Yeah, that sounds great.
I think, do I know this one? And then by the time we get, is that Martin Carthy? And then by the time we get to
Tiffany,
I know this one. And there's always a bit of a titter when we get to it.
Yeah. Am I meant to like this? Yeah.
I feel a bit weird, but I'm enjoying myself. Yeah.
Lovely.
The folkies going, how do I know this? It's because I've been to a wedding with a DJ, so I've definitely heard this before.
Have you played the Celtic Colours in Nova Scotia?
Yeah, I was there in October last year.
Were you really?
Yeah. I was there 2 years running, which doesn't often happen. But yeah, I've been over, I think, five or six times over the past sort of 20 years. And actually, I mentioned earlier on, I won that Radio Scotland competition decades ago, the prize was to go out to perform at Celtic Colours. It used to be that you would get a major international festival as part of your prize and make an album. And now, of course, everyone can make an album at home. So that doesn't happen so much anymore. And the BBC are more involved with it now. So they can't really go for the thing of one festival or one record label getting the thing. But yeah, I had an amazing time. That was the first time I went to perform at the festival, and I've been back many times. I just love it.
Yeah.
And there's a gig there, the Guitar Summit, every year.
Right, okay. Where's that held?
That's in Judic.
Oh,
in a wee hall in Judic.
Yeah.
Down the west coast, near Inverness on the west coast of Cape Breton. And that's like 4 or 5 guitarists all sitting there. It's like a proper noodle fest.
Yeah.
And you just all sit on stage and take it in turns. And it's hosted by JP Cormier.
Oh, fantastic.
And he's been doing it every year. And so I went there, I was 19, 20, and I had played the guitar for this young trad thing, and everyone, she plays tunes on the guitar, she's a flat picker. And I turned up at this guitar gig terrified, like really freaked out about it, because John Doyle, like my absolute hero, was on the bill, and I couldn't believe it. And I thought, well, this is okay. I get picked up. I've got a couple of hours in the car to chill out and really think about what I'm going to play. Then 20 minutes into the journey, we stopped at a hotel to pick someone up, and here was John Doyle, got in the car. And I was just like so starstruck. Like, absolute legend. He'd had such an impact on my rhythmic playing.
Yeah.
And it was great. He's just so lovely. He's such a gentleman, such a kind, lovely guy, an amazing musician and lovely company. And he was on the Guitar Summit in October as well.
Brilliant.
So it was JP and John and myself. And actually, I've done it with Tim Eady as well. And it's great. It's always a great night. Bella Fleck, the banjo player, was on it like 2 years ago. He's the first ever person, non-guitarist, to be on it. But like all of the guys were just sitting on stage like, Bella Fleck's here. That's amazing. But, he was
Bella
incredible.
Fleck. Yeah,
to sit beside him and just watch him. And then he played, it's like Rhapsody in Blue or something. He's worked out this 5-string banjo arrangement of the whole orchestration.
I think I might have watched that on YouTube quite recently. It was just insane. Brilliant. I was once at a rehearsal with Brendan Power. Do you know Brendan Power, the harmonica player? Yeah. So he lives locally. Yes. And Brendan was like, we did a bit of music together a while back, and I was like, what are you doing this weekend? He goes, I'm going to Nova Scotia. And I said, that's fun. I'm going to Nova Scotia as well. And he said, when are you leaving? It's Saturday. I said, Tim Eady's coming as well. Got to the airport. Same flight. Sat in the bar for like too long. Nearly missed the flight. Yeah. But they were heading out there, and I was heading out to see family. So, right. Because Matty Folds is from there as well, isn't he?
He is, yeah. His mum was one of the early sort of directors of the festival. Right. And Matty and his mum, there's been a sort of reshuffle in the board of Celtic Colours, and Joella is back in situation this year, and Matty's helping out with the programme, and Matty and Wendy McIsaac are kind of assisting Joella with it.
Very cool. Yeah, nice.
Everything comes back around.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, so that is the Advanced 1938. Good year for those. Mm-hmm. Right, so this here is a J43, one of our biggest sellers. Slope shoulder, dreadnought, baked Sitka top, mahogany back and sides, Santos rosewood on the fingerboard and bridge. It's a bit lighter, this stuff, in colour. It's got that sort of nice, sort of chocolatey look. Aged nitrocellulose finish. This has got a 43mm nut as well. But yeah, that's one of our most popular models. That's similar to the one that Chris Drever used to use.
Yes.
Yeah.
But do you hear a difference in the sound from this different wood on the fingerboard?
I don't think you do. No, I think there'll be people out there who tell you they do. You know what it's like? There's like people who swear, no, it definitely made a difference. I think if you did the blind test, you wouldn't hear the difference at all. But it may make a difference. And I'm sure, being YouTube, people are going to write in. So they should tell us if they think there's a difference between Indian rosewood and Santos rosewood on their fingerboard.
Got that lovely bottom end again, isn't it?
I know. I find with these you can sort of tickle them and they still sound really strong, and so yeah, they've got a lot of dynamic.
Yeah, as soon as there's the bigger body, I feel like everything kind of moves a little bit more, and finding the position for that left hand. It's a strange thing. It's maybe just being so used to playing one guitar for such a long time.
Yeah, yeah.
But
that's a lovely tune. What's that tune?
That's a tune I wrote for a friend of mine. It's
Really?
called Laura Drummond's Slipjig. Yeah, I had 3 sort of very close pals, with a wee gang of 4 of us. The Black Isle Babes.
Right.
That's the name of our WhatsApp group, of course. And so one of the girls got a tune for her 18th birthday, and then another got a tune for her 21st, and then poor Laura had to wait till her 30th. So she was waiting a long time.
Maybe she got the best tune, because it got better with time.
That's it, a more mature pen.
Yeah.
It's
so
already,
nice.
it feels like it's maybe not, but it feels like a larger neck.
Yeah, it could have a bit more chunk behind it here.
Yeah.
But do you do like teaching for people or tutoring or anything like that?
I do a bit of it. I don't do anything regular because I'm away from home a lot touring. So it feels like to take on anything like that regularly would just be letting people down regularly.
Yeah,
And I have to go away. So I don't do any kind of weekly or monthly stuff, but I'll teach at like music camps for a
Right,
week
so
or a
workshop-y
weekend
type
thing.
stuff.
Yeah. So I play in a band called Blazing Fiddles, and we run a week of a class in October just outside Inverness. That's Blazing in Bewley. And then we do a weekend in June in Biggar, just outside Glasgow. So yeah, things like that are more kind of concentrated. I do a bit of that.
The way you play, and I always think this because I can't play tunes, and I mean I can pick something a little bit, but it just looks so simple when you do it, and everything's kind of under your fingers, really, isn't it?
That's the aim with it, is economy of movement.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the time, chordally, I'm always in standard tuning, sometimes drop D, but never an open tuning. But I spend a lot of my time trying to make standard tuning sound more like an open tuning. So I play a lot of 5 chords, or like missing out the third of things, or trying to just make the instrument ring more. And then in terms of playing the melody, keeping your hand around the chord shape, or finding the place to be where you have to move as little as possible. So that it's all around there. It's really pentatonic. It's all around there, but playing it up around that 5th fret, like it's based around that bar. Like it's all the same notes are there, but without having to do all of this jumping about between the strings. They're all kind of on different strings, and you have the kind of bonus of that chord is right there, and that A string is easy to.
It's so good to watch. It's
thank you.
Yeah. Anyway, that's brilliant. I knew it would be anyway. So right, next. Do you like 12 fret to the body?
I do.
Yeah. Okay. So this is one of this is a 000 12 fretter. This one's a bit more special. It's a pre-war version, so that's got an Adirondack top and Madagascan rosewood back and side. So that's the closest thing to Brazilian rosewood that you can buy without needing CITES documentation. Your Gurian, has that got Brazilian rosewood back and sides? Yeah. So slotted headstock. Again, looks cool. It's got that sort of folky vibe. Not always brilliant if you break a string when you're gigging.
A wee bit of a faff.
A bit of a faff. Yeah. Chris Dreevy used to use a slotted headstock a lot early on.
That's right, yeah. It was an Australian... Was it an Australian guitar?
Could have been. Could have been. Yeah. Yeah, this has got the longer scale as well. Most of the 12 fretters have the short scale, but this is 25.4. Aged nitro finish. Quite a pretty thing. But yeah, have a go on that one, Anna.
All right. Yeah, I think anything that feels a wee bit smaller.
Yeah,
like the 12 fret to the body thing is like, okay, that's...
Do you go to the octave much on when you're...
I end up playing around here quite a lot, yeah.
Right.
So we were chatting earlier on about cutaway things, and my Atkin, which feels weird to say to you, my Atkin, I realised that I do end up using it quite a lot. Not so much in solo stuff, but when I'm working in accompaniment, especially for tune stuff, like for melody accompaniment, I end up here a lot. Like that would be my kind of go-to. D would be up around the 10th fret, and all these things that happen around there. So I like the size of them, but then find yourself
just
at
hitting
at the end of where you have the scope on it. But. That's lovely to play.
It's great, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's got a real bounce going on there. That body's actually quite big, even though it looks quite compact.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Long body.
Yeah, it does. It's really deceptive, isn't it?
Yeah. No, it's a powerful thing.
But this is super comfy.
Yeah, so that's also got the wider nut as well. So.
All right.
Yeah, that's 45mm.
That's funny that just the shortness of the neck makes all the difference there.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. I think we do quite a lot of 12 fretters, but I'm not sure it's going to be everyone's first choice. Mm-hmm. I think the 14 fretter feels. I think if I do a gig, I might go to the octave once. But if you can't go there, it's a bit annoying, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's just
and you probably don't realise that you want to do it until you're like, that's 12th fret.
Yeah, so I guess that's something you'd probably need to square off in your head before you got involved with one of these. But I think probably they're quite a lot of people's second guitar.
Right.
A little smaller guitar, they go for a dreadnought. And
just going to sit and have a quiet noodle
on the sofa.
Get the 12th fret out.
Cup of tea.
Yeah. Oh, it's lovely.
There you go. So that's a pre-war 000 12 fret 37.
So these all been made
for dealers.
Dealers, okay.
Yeah, and in fact, I can say where that one's going. That one's going to Eddie's in the US. Now this is a big hitter for us. This is the OM37 standard version with 6 spruce top, Indian rosewood back and sides, ebony fingerboard, 43mm nut, ebony bridge, Indian rosewood headstock, but it's got that nice volute on the back there, which is sort of part of this whole vibe of a model like this. Again, songwriting kind of territory this. I think Sean Colvin has used these at times as well. Not our ones, but this size. I think she uses dreadnoughts as well.
Yeah.
Can you remember what you saw her using?
I think I think she's Martin's, but I think you're right. I think she plays a sort of a smaller body. I think you're right with that. Yeah.
She's probably got a bit of everything, I expect. But
Yeah. I think this is the the style and the size of thing that if I were to see it in a guitar shop, I think this is the...
You'd be drawn to that one.
Yeah, there's just, I think I guess it's that manageable size thing, but also this kind of, the lower bout that makes me feel like there's going to be that size to it. But also, I guess we've got the 12th fret, so there's the 14th fret up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is the style of guitar that always draws my eye. I think the jumbos and the sort of slopey shoulder things make me think, that's going to be too big for me. But there's something about these that maybe it's just what I'm used to. My dad had an M38.
Right.
When I was a kid, that was the kind of the guitar that I would learn on, and it would sit on that cushion on the sofa, and I would be underneath the fingerboard on the other side. But there's something about that kind of not the big dreadnought thing that is probably just always been comfy.
I've always called that a desert island guitar. I think it's the one guitar to rule them all. It really does.
If you could only have one for
that's the one.
Your life,
that's the one. I think it probably is.
Yeah, you could just sit and noodle away all day.
It's really nicely balanced, I think, and it's a really pleasant experience.
Yeah. Wow. That's comfy. I like it a lot. Does everything, doesn't it?
I think it does.
Yeah, that's great.
I hope you're all enjoying this, because this is quite rare to hear a great player. So you've been out on the road. I think I saw you out with Eddie Reader.
Yeah.
Did a tour with her, was it?
Yeah, I've done some gigs with Eddie in the past.
Yeah. I mean, she's a formidable character, isn't she?
She is. So years ago, I was never like in Eddie's band, but I think I filled in on a couple of gigs, and we played the Isle of Wight festival.
Oh, really? Wow.
And I was like, it was a long time ago, so I hadn't been to loads of festivals, and there I was with Eddie Reader in a huge big tent. It was like, I think maybe Beverly Night was going on after us or something. Like, it was a pretty mad day. And the thing that's amazing about Eddie is that, you kind of just have to know all of the songs, because she will just, we were talking about set lists earlier, it was like there might be a set list to start with, but then who knows what might happen.
Wherever she goes,
And just, we had a line check rather than a sound check, and we were just on stage, and Eddie was checking her vocal mic, and she just started singing perfect. And all of a sudden, like, the tent filled, and the band were just jamming along with it. And I was standing there going, I played perfect with Eddie Reader. And then she kind of half sang it, and then it wasn't in the set list. It was just, but people got a wee bit of it.
Yeah,
it was
just
like,
drew them in.
Yeah, she's just got that. She's got an amazing way of drawing a crowd in.
Oh, again, total pro. And then Kate Rusby as well. Yeah,
I did a year with Kate, and that was like, I had been a fan of hers forever, and I got the call to come, and it was when John McCusker left the band, so I was on fiddle and tenor guitar, and do you play the cittern? And I went, oh yeah, I play the cittern. And didn't play the cittern.
What's the cittern?
What's that?
What's the cittern?
So I borrowed an old filed bouzouki from a friend of mine, and kind of had to get to grips with that. Oh no, I think it was a cittern. It was a 10-string thing. That I didn't really know what it was supposed to be doing. I'd only ever played mandolin before. I'd stopped at 8 strings, and then I think I commissioned Jimmy Moon to make a cittern for me, and so he made the big brother of my mandolin.
Excellent.
He made like the 10-string bigger version of it. But yeah, the amazing thing about that was, well, it was cool to go out and play fantastic venues, and like every night the theatre was full with adoring fans. That feels amazing on stage. But Ian Carr had been such a hero of mine in terms of his guitar playing and where he places a beat and the choices he makes about everything. And so I got to spend a year just hanging out with Ian, and when we had days off we would just sit and play tunes together and
sucking this all up.
And he's such a lovely man as well. I really enjoyed his company, and we would just hang out and became really good pals. I loved it. It was a fantastic year. But yeah, getting to play with heroes like that was quite something. But getting to sit and actually learn from Ian and just pick up wee things, it was a real delight.
Wonderful. Those are those things you cherish, aren't they?
Yeah, totally.
Right, this is one of our... Which one is this? Right, so D37. This one has an Adirondack top. I know this is going to Eddie's as well in the US. A good dealer for us. Yeah, did we talk about Adirondack? Have you come across Adirondack as a thing? Is that something that people have discussed much when you've been looking at guitars with your mates?
I don't really know very much about the wood and the choices, to be honest. I just play them.
I think that's the way it should be, to be honest.
Right, okay.
Because I think there's a lot of tyre kicking goes on around this sort of choices of woods. We all like to sort of spec up our guitars. Adirondack is one of those things that traditionally was used on the pre-war guitars in the US. It was what was available, I think, and so they used this. So there's a lot of romance attached to, I've got a really nice Adirondack top. It makes you it maybe gives you that connection to a pre-war instrument. I've always been a bit indifferent towards it. I think we can make a great sounding guitar out of anything. In fact, we're making a pallet guitar at the moment. We cut up some pallets, and just to sort of see whether we can. The whole thing is made out of pallets that came on deliveries, So we'll see. We'll do a video on that at some point. So does
this have like a wider grain on the top?
Yeah. So Adirondack comes in lots of different sort of variations, and traditionally, a lot of the time, it does have a wider grain, which I think can look like old floorboards a bit. And in the middle there, it's really close, and it's hard also to get hold of really sort of tight-grained Adirondack. It's actually hard to get hold of Adirondack at all now, certainly in the UK. Don't need a Brexit rant at this point because it can travel without CITES. But so it's one of those things that we buy when we find it. We buy the good stuff, but it's not always available to us. But this, see what you think, because it may be that you can hear a difference or a nice sort of difference.
And what's the neck here?
That's mahogany neck. So that's the standard stuff we usually use. But this has got the 45mm nut as well.
Okay. I love the brightness in the top of this.
Do you know what? It strikes me there's a lot of clarity there.
Yeah.
And the individual strings really do ring out quite nicely, don't they?
Yeah, that's a really...
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Adirondack really is.
You're going to have to rethink your Adirondack thing.
It's not that I don't like it. It's just that there's a premium for it. So that makes that guitar £600 more expensive than a standard one.
Okay.
So you've got to wonder whether that's worth paying for. And I think for some people it is. But I'm sort of always of the opinion that we can make great guitars out of the cheaper wood, or you know, the less premium sort of stuff.
But I suppose that's it. Your good chef can work with whatever ingredients.
Yeah, exactly. But I guess sometimes a Wagyu steak is what you need. Yeah.
We all need a Wagyu protected. Yeah, that's a.
Yeah.
It sounds beautiful.
Yeah. Again, that's a classic sort of that large dreadnought sound. It's something that I think most of us that's Joni Mitchell and Neil Young and all the bluegrassers, and it's the go-to. I think is it Alan Carr? No, Ian. He plays a dreadnought. I think when I've seen him. Yeah, it's a great effect.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was one of his tunes.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, it's called Nicky's Leap. It's written a tune that he wrote about a waterfall in his mum's village in North Wales. Yeah.
So when you learn a tune like that, how long does it take you?
That took ages.
Does it?
That took totally, because that was one of the ones actually that I sat and learnt from Ian on those Kate Rusby tours, because the thing I love about it is the cross picking, and it's one of the things that I love about playing pipe tunes. So if you play a pipe scale, a bagpipe scale, they have, it's only those notes, but it fits so nicely under that position. But the thing with that is you have your G, then down a string to play the A, then miss another, then the B, then you're back down for the C sharp. It's a weird way. It takes such a long time to learn where those notes are. But once you're familiar with the scale,
you're in.
You're totally in.
Yeah.
And that tune, this bit, took me such a long time. Those are the notes.
Yeah.
But this was like a day of sitting going, why can't I just get it? And that was one of those things that, you know, every so often you'll learn one thing that unlocks a whole other room.
Yeah.
And that tune was, I think, the key to thinking about where you play things and how the scale and how the fretboard works. Because, you know, we learn our basic chords and then we stick with, that's a G. But if you play it up there, the same thing can become a D.
Yeah.
But rather than being rooted in those places, just having the freedom to move around the fretboard a bit
just
more.
Unlocking it all.
Yeah, and that tune was like, it took me such a long time to learn it, but then the skills, or that little technique, that little bit of thought about it has been really instrumental in loads of other things since.
That's so cool, isn't it?
Yeah, I love it. I remember really clearly the day sitting going, I'm gonna get that tune.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever am. I am. But yeah, it was brilliant, and Ian would just sit there going, "Oh yeah, it's just this." These things that he'd worked out for himself as a largely self-taught player. He was fantastic for that.
Can you play that sort of stuff at speed? Yeah. Go on.
Yeah.
Give us some.
I'm
just interested. Good. Well done.
That was nerve-wracking.
Now, your hands, right?
Yeah.
This is something that people always, guitar players go, oh, I can't do that because my hands aren't big enough, you know.
Yeah.
But you haven't got massive hands, have you?
No, I've got really wee hands.
Yeah, so look at that. If someone can play, I love this sort of thing where you just people put so many excuses up. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just look, you know, it really is hours of practice, isn't it?
It is, yeah. But I think part of it is also just working out what works for you.
Yeah.
Like there are chord shapes that I can't play. Like I love John Mayer, and I watch John Mayer, and he's got this like thumb over here.
Yeah.
I have quite a mobile thumb. I use it a lot for things, but like the stretch just isn't necessarily there for me. I have quite a large stretch just from years of playing and reaching for notes, but the thing of finding out how you can do what you want to do, and maybe that's kind of influenced the sound I make and the choices I make with chords.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's finding the place to play it or finding the way to play it that suits your physicality, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, works, doesn't it?
Well, but I mean, the thing is, I don't feel comfy really with a large bodied guitar. That's the thing for me is that I would always go for something a little bit smaller to feel like I have a sort of a greater control of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would be I suppose my concession to it would be, I do love the sound of the bigger instruments, but they feel a little bit physically unmanageable for me sometimes. So. Yeah.
Very cool. Right, where are we next? We've got, oh, look at this. This is quite interesting. Do you like a Pelham Blue
It's like
J43? It's
a bit pearlescent kind of...
Yeah, it's kind of like, what's his name? Dave Grohl's electric guitar.
Yes.
And this one's going to the Chicago Music Exchange. Yeah. Have you ever been to Chicago?
No, I haven't.
No. Well, there's a great guitar shop there called the Chicago Music Exchange who stock our guitars. Right. And they seem to sell them all over the States, and they've been great for us.
And have they specified the Pelham Blue?
Yeah.
So do they know that there's someone that wants this, that they're
I'm not sure.
as a dealership
There could be, yeah. I mean, they seem to just order stuff that's interesting.
Right.
And there's sort of, they're a bunch of geeks, you know, and they know that they see us doing weird colours, and they, oh, can you do one of those? And so it's not for everyone, is it? But someone's going to love that. This is going to have a cream pickguard as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so that's a standard J43, sloped shoulder, mahogany back and sides. This one's got dark Santos rosewood fingerboard and bridge. It's an unusual guitar. It will turn up. They turn up in places, and because some pros sort of buy this sort of stuff because it looks good on stage and a bit unusual.
Yeah.
You know?
It's a cool look, isn't it?
Yeah. Have a go on that one.
This makes me feel like a rocker.
Yeah.
So are you always sending things out, just no pickups in them?
Yeah, mate, sometimes people ask for them. What pickup do you use? Is it
I've got a Fishman.
Yeah.
The sort of acoustic matrix thing that's in there.
Yes. I think that's probably the one we similar to. Or have you changed it since we made it? Did it come back for a replacement pickup at one point, maybe?
It's definitely had a replacement. I think it's had at least one replacement. I used to have a really sort of percussive style where I would hit into the bridge saddle a lot.
That kills the transducer eventually.
Yeah, but it also gave a bit of a doof.
Yeah.
Which was really great. And then there were sorts of pops and bangs coming out of it. So it's been replaced at least once, and I now have a stomp box that I use rather than battering the top of the guitar.
Yeah.
So I've always used the Fishman.
Yeah.
And I love it. It's I guess I don't know if it's the way it's installed or if it's just the guitar. Maybe it's a bit of both, but it just seems to have a really even.
Yeah.
It's that balance again. Yeah. Each of the strings is the same level, and it just
Yeah.
it sounds great. And I use that along with a DPA 4099 mic on it.
Right.
So I send the two signals, and
Yeah.
then there's a bit of both.
Yeah,
But,
yeah. No, see, that's what part of the reason we don't put pickups in the guitars is because everyone's got a preference for them. So
yeah.
you can ask us to make a guitar or one of the dealers for a guitar, and we can install the pickup of your choice, but only really when people ask, because you're bound to be the wrong one.
Yeah. Can't even hear the blue.
Can you hear the blues though? Is that in there, do you think? Maybe it is.
It's definitely going to be in there. It's going to have to be, yeah.
We're nearly there, Anna. We're nearly there. I think we've done that one. This is an interesting one. 12 fret J43. It's based on a Roy Schmeck guitar. Do you know who Roy Schmeck was? He was called, I think he was called the King of the Strings, and he played loads of Hawaiian music.
Okay.
And you'll know his music when you hear it. You'll be like, that.
Okay.
And he played loads of lap steel, I think, and yeah, he was massive, I think, in the 30s.
Right.
So we call this the Hawaiian Master. And
Tour de force.
Tour de force, yeah. But it's got its place. It's a Sitka spruce top, mahogany back and sides, short scale length, 12 fretter, wide fingerboard as well, 45mm. In fact, Justin Hawkins has this same guitar. We often see him on Justin Hawkins Rides Again using it. But a lot of people like this guitar. It's I don't think it's not everyone's first choice, but when they try it, it's kind of, that works. So yeah, we're nearly there, Anna. You've been a star.
Where is this going?
Let's see. Yeah, good question. Good question. That is going to Music Center Charter in Germany.
Right.
Which I'm not sure which part of Germany it's in, but they order probably 2 or 3 guitars off. No, 1 or 2 guitars off us a month.
Right.
But it's on our website. So if you're in Germany and you fancy a Hawaiian Master, this is heading its way out there soon.
This is a lovely thing to play.
Yeah, Jackson Browne uses something like that. That size guitar quite a lot. It's one of those guitars that I think a lot of the songwriters have ended up using.
Yeah. This is a nice thing.
Yeah, I think they're. Again, most of these guitars have their place. It's there's something for everyone.
How do you decide to go for something like this, which is quite a specific thing?
Sometimes it works that someone goes, can you build us one of these?
Right.
A lot of the time I've been like, I don't really like those. And then we make it and it's like, actually it's quite good.
Right.
And then with this, I think it was Steve Earle was using something like it. And I thought, that looks really cool. I usually get inspired by a player using something and just sort of think, I better make some of those. And then we sort of set off on a mission and work out how to make it well. And then, it becomes something that we put in the roster. But Again, we don't make a huge amount of those. That would be maybe, I don't know, 1 a month or 2 a month of a guitar like that. But it's there when people want it. But there are all these Roy Schmeck fans out there that you sort of don't realise that they're bubbling away in the background.
It's funny, isn't it? Then you all of a sudden you've kind of tapped into something.
Yeah. Oh, look
this
at that.
underbelly of Roy Schmeck fans.
Yeah. I'm not sure how many people would play actual Roy Schmeck music on it because it's bloody hard music. Check it out when you get a chance.
I'm gonna. Well, it's just me in the car.
Well, there you go.
I'm going to be listening to Roy Schmeck for the rest of the tour.
This is my advice to you then. You have to put your dressing gown on and your slippers, smoke a sort of cigarette in a long holder, and then drink sort of like brandy or something.
Oh.
And if you walk around like that, you'll feel like you're in a Coen Brothers movie or a Tom Waits movie. Okay. It's that sort of feel, it's like, whoa, this is really kind of weird.
Right.
But, I've actually done that.
That's the thing. That's how you're channeling that you're Roy Schmeck.
I found that out once. And I was God, Roy Schmeck and this goes really well together. So
perfect.
Yeah. Right, we've got one more. One more. Okay.
Baker's dozen.
There we go. So this is a triple O essential with a short scale, slotted headstock, baked Sitka top, mahogany back and sides, mahogany neck, ebony fingerboard and bridge. Again, a basic model, but plenty of power, lots going on. Slotted headstock for those people who like a bit of maybe Joan Baez. This is the sort of thing she might have used, or she does use. Although hers has got a lot more. Have you seen the Bob Dylan film?
I haven't seen that yet.
There you go. You could do that in London tonight if they're still showing it.
Yeah, I could go and see that.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I have to say it's worth a watch.
The opinion seems to be pretty divided.
Yeah, really?
On it.
Yeah.
I think a load of Dylan fans that I've seen are like amazing.
Oh,
just,
really? That's
loving
good.
it. And then I spoke to someone that knows Joan Baez, and they're like, yeah. Like she's pretty. I think she's pretty happy with it. But I'm like, no.
Yeah, I know. I think it's always going to be the way with something like that, isn't it? Right. So where's this going? This is going to Project Music down in Devon. Yeah, get in touch with Project Music if you want one of those. Now I think this is the size that Chris Drever was using when I saw him, a double O.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And the first time I saw Chris Drever, he was playing with Kate Rusby as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he sang a song, didn't know who he was. Right. I think he was playing double bass actually.
Yeah, he plays a bit of double bass.
Yeah, and it was I was with a friend of mine, and we were just like, Jesus, this guy's incredible.
Yeah,
his
great.
voice was just, and he had a song that night. I don't know what it was, but it was just a moment. They just go, that guy's insanely good.
Yeah,
and
he's
then,
very good.
Weirdly, Boo wrote a few songs, I think, on his first album.
That's right, yeah.
Harvest Gypsies was that on there? That's great, isn't it?
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
And there was, when Chris's second album, Mark the Hard Earth, when that came out, I did the sort of launch tour with them. And, well, it was amazing because Boo had played on stuff and written songs for him, but there was Ian Carr and Tim O'Brien both played on the record. And so...
Were you in the studio with them? Or?
I wasn't at all, but I was a total fan. Yeah, so I had everyone had worked out the bits. And then when Chris called and said, would you come and do the tour? It was like, yeah. So I just got to go and play all these parts that had been recorded by Tim and Ian and Boo. And it was brilliant. I loved it. Still some of the favourite touring that I've ever done. There was just the two of us. And somebody filmed a gig in Knaresborough up in Yorkshire. The whole show is still now on YouTube, I think. I just loved it, and we just got to noodle away. I had the guitar and the mandolin with me and a bit of fiddle, and
lovely.
It was just a delight to play those songs. It was brilliant.
What a talent!
Yeah, he's a really musical guy. He's just playing all the time, and he's learning tunes all the time, and he's always got something that he's learned from some old record.
Yeah, it's sort of heavyweight stuff, isn't it? You're kind of in his presence thinking, this guy's actually awesome.
Kind of knows a lot of stuff, this guy, yeah. Standard.
There we go.
I love the feel of that.
That works brilliantly on that as well, doesn't it? That's kind of sounds perfect. That's really good.
Yeah.
Whoa. Well, that's the whole lot.
Thank you so much.
No,
for the
thank
shorty.
you. Thank you. That was
Great.
really, really fun. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that. And where do people get hold of you then? On Instagram, your
Instagram
Anna
and
Massie.
Facebook, yeah.
And website? Do you have a website these days?
AnnaMassie.com, yeah.
And on the radio? You've
On
got
the
your,
radio, every
Anna's
Thursday
got a BBC Radio Scotland.
That's it, yeah.
show.
Travelling folk every Thursday night between 8 and 10.
Yeah, well worth a listen.
I love it. It's the best. I don't know, I just feel really jammy that's my job.
Wow.
Every week. I love it. Sometimes bands come into the studio and I just get to sit there and they play.
Yeah.
And it's the weirdest thing because like one person clapping can only sound sarcastic. You're trying not to respond to these people playing amazing music. We get to talk and do interesting interviews and people will come in and talk about the projects and we get sent all the new stuff and we get to play old trad stuff. It's just great.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah. Thursday nights, that's where I am.
Well, go and check Anna out on the road. Your dates will be on your
it's all
socials and
all
all
on
that
the
kind of-
socials.
Yeah. And thanks very much, Anna.
Thank you.
It's been super.
That's a
and
delight.
we're going to enjoy watching those videos for years to come, I'm sure.
Thanks.
Yeah. Well, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Tell your friends. Today's date, I must say, is the 11th of
April,
isn't it?
Yeah, already.
11th of April 2025. These guitars are going to their destinations in the next week or so. Please go along and try them out if you get the chance. Thanks for watching. Cheers. Thank you, Anna.
Thank you.
Yeah.